Hello guys, welcome to Algebra. Find the discriminant of x squared plus 10x plus 25 equals 0. What can you conclude about the result? We can use discriminant formula. Then, we must determine what the value of a, b, and c. The value of a is 1, the value of b is 10, the value of c is 25. Then we can substitute into the formula. Then we compute this, and the result is, because the discriminant is 0, we can conclude that only have one root. What are the value of k in x squared minus kx plus 16 equals 0 such that the equation has two roots? Key is, we must find equation has two roots. That means the discriminant must be greater than 0. So, we must find what a, b, and c again. The value of a is 1. The value of b is minus k. The value of c is 16. Then we can substitute into the formula. We can compute this. Then we add both sides by 64. Then we can take the square root. This cancels out, and this is plus or minus. Then we get the value of k. But there's one thing. We must find what is the range of k. First, we must draw a line. Then we put minus 8 and plus 8. Then we can compare to this. If we take the value of less than negative 8, we get discriminant bigger than 0. Take the value between negative 8 and plus 8, the discriminant less than 0. Then if we take the value of k is bigger than 8, the discriminant is bigger than 0. This is the range of k. This is the result. Find the vertex form of this quadratic equation. We know that vertex form is the coordinate where the highest and the lowest point of the parabola. So h and k is the vertex form. And we know that h is the vertex form of the x-axis. And k is the vertex form coordinate of the y-axis. We can use this formula. We must determine what a and b is. B is this and a is this. Then we compute this a little bit. This is the vertex of the x-axis. Then we want to know what is the vertex in the y-axis. We must substitute into the formula. Then we compute this. And therefore, here's the h and here's the k. A quadratic function f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c has its vertex at 3 and negative 4 and pass through 1 and 0. Find the equation of the quadratic function in standard form. So we get the vertex. And we can use this formula. Then we substitute for h and k. We know that y equals f of x. And f of x pass through point 1 and 0. So we get f of 1 is 0 and f of 1, and we know that f of 1 is 0, so we can substitute 0 in here. Then we get a is 4 over 4, which is 1. We already find a, then we substitute a into the equation. Then we can expand this. We simplify this a little bit, and here's the result. Sketch the graph properly. So, first, we must determine whether it is cap or cup shape. We know that if a is less than 0, then we get a graph look like this. We must determine whether it's shift left or right. If b is greater than 0, the graph shift to the left. We found that c is equals to implies it intersects to the y-axis, that is 2. Then we can sketch the graph. Probably look like this. What is the equation if we take a look at this graph? We want to know about the quadratic equation form. The vertex point of this graph is at this point, that is 2 and minus 3. And this graph passed through this point, that is 0 and 5. Then we can use this formula. We substitute for h and for k, and we know that y equals f of x. At the point x equals 0, the value of f of 0 equals 5. And we know that f of 0 also this form. Then we can combine these two. There we have the value of a equals 8 over 4, or just 2. Then we substitute a into the equation. We expand this a little bit. We simplify this again. And therefore we get the answer.